The sun slowly rose above the horizon, painting the Sun Valley sky in soft shades of pink and gold. The quiet streets gradually came alive, filling with the sounds of a waking town. Sam Johnson, a 91-year-old veteran, sat on his front porch sipping his morning coffee, his lined face showing the marks of years and battles. "Good morning, Mr. Johnson," a passing neighbor called out. "Hello, Martha. How are your roses?" Sam replied with a smile. "Oh, you've blossomed like never before. Come by later, I'll treat you to some fresh baked goods." Sam nodded, watching Martha disappear around the corner. Suddenly, his gaze was drawn to an unfamiliar van driving slowly down the street. "That's odd," he muttered under his breath. "I've never seen him here before." At that moment, Sheriff Thompson came out of the diner across the street. "Sam. How are you, old man?" he called out to the veteran. "It's okay, Jim. Listen, do you know whose van this is?" The sheriff frowned. "What van?" "There he is." "Where did he go?" Sam looked around in confusion. "Sam, are you sure you didn't imagine it?" the sheriff asked worriedly. "I swear on my honor as a soldier, Jim. He was here." The sheriff rubbed his chin thoughtfully. "You know, I've been hearing some strange conversations lately. Maybe we should be on our guard?" Sam nodded, feeling the tension in the air. Something told him that Sun Valley's peaceful days were coming to an end, and the town was about to be confronted with something sinister and unknown. The morning was unusually quiet. Sam was sitting on the porch, lost in memories of old times, when suddenly the silence was broken by the roar of an engine. The beat-up van, the same one he had seen yesterday, skidded to a stop in front of his house. Sam's heart began to beat faster. 3 strong men with unkind faces stepped out of the van. "Hey, old man," the tallest one with the tattoo on his neck shouted. "Are you Sam Johnson?" Sam stood up slowly, straightening his back. "Who's asking?" The tattooed man smirked. "Never mind. You have something we need." "I don't know what you're talking about," Sam replied, looking around discreetly for help. The second bandit stepped forward. "Don't play dumb, veteran. We know you're holding valuable information." Sam frowned. "You've got the wrong address, guys. I'm just a retiree." "Oh, how wrong you are," hissed the third, taking out a knife. "We know about your past in intelligence. And about the secret documents." Suddenly Sam heard a rustling in the bushes. Out of the corner of his eye he saw a shadow moving between the trees. "Look," Sam said, trying to gain time, "I don't know who sent you, but—" "Enough talk," the tattooed man barked, grabbing Sam by the collar. "You're going to take us to the safe right now, or we'll—" Suddenly, a cold voice came from behind the bandits. "Or what?" Everyone turned around. A tall, muscular man with a determined look stood on the road. "Who are you?" the tattooed man growled. "Your worst nightmare," the stranger replied, taking a step forward. Sam felt the tension build. He knew the next few minutes would change everything. The air around Sam's house was charged with tension. The bandits, clearly not expecting resistance, exchanged nervous glances. And behind the trees, invisible to the others, Rambo hid, carefully watching the unfolding scene. "Listen, Grandpa," the tattooed leader hissed, "we don't want any trouble. Just give us what we want and we'll disappear." Sam straightened up, a steely glint in his eyes. "And if I refuse?" The second bandit chuckled. "Then we'll take it by force. And believe me, you won't like it." Rambo moved silently closer, ready to intervene at any moment. His hand instinctively went to the knife on his belt. "Look, guys," Sam tried to lighten the mood, "I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you could explain?" The leader waved his hand impatiently. "Stop playing the fool. Documents, old man. Secret documents from the war. We know you have them." Sam paled. How did they know? That information had been buried for decades. I don't know what you're talking about," he muttered. "You're lying," the third bandit barked, taking a step forward. At this point, Rambo decided it was time to act. He deliberately stepped on a dry branch, drawing attention. Everyone turned around at the sound. "What was that?" one of the bandits asked nervously. "Probably some kind of animal," the leader replied, but there was uncertainty in his voice. Sam, noticing movement in the bushes, realized that he was not alone. With some sixth sense, he sensed the presence of an ally. "Last chance, old man," the leader growled, "or we'll get tough." Sam took a deep breath, preparing himself for the worst. But at that moment, a low, menacing voice came from behind the trees. "If I were you, I would think twice before threatening a veteran." The air around Sam's house was thick with tension. The bandits, taken aback by Rambo's appearance, glanced nervously at each other. "Who are you?" the leader growled, trying to hide his fear. Rambo slowly emerged from the trees, his eyes burning with a cold fire. "Your worst nightmare." Sam took advantage of the moment and abruptly hit the nearest bandit in the stomach with his elbow. He bent over, gasping for air. "Old man, you're full of surprises," Rambo exclaimed as he rushed into battle. A brutal fight ensued, with Rambo moving at incredible speed, dodging blows and delivering his own. "Sam, hold on," he shouted, fighting off two attackers at once. Sam, despite his age, showed that his years in the army had not been in vain. He deftly dodged a blow and performed a classic move, knocking one of the bandits to the ground. "Not bad for an old man, huh?" he chuckled. The leader, seeing that the situation was getting out of control, pulled out a pistol. "Stop playing. One step and I'll shoot the old man in the knee." Rambo froze, his gaze darting to Sam. "Easy, buddy. Let's talk." "It's too late to talk," the leader barked. "Where are the documents?" Sam took a deep breath. "In the safe, in the basement." "Lead the way," the bandit ordered, pushing Sam towards the house. Rambo took a step forward, but the leader pointed a gun at him. "Stay put." Entering the house, Sam caught Rambo's eye through the window and nodded slightly. Rambo knew the old man had a plan. "Get down to the basement," the leader commanded. Sam slowly began to descend the stairs, his heart pounding in his chest. He knew that the next few minutes would decide everything. And somewhere in the shadows of the basement, the answer to the secret he had kept for so many years was waiting. Sam walked slowly down the creaking steps into the basement, feeling the gun at his back as the air grew colder and the shadows thickened around them. "Faster, old man," the leader hissed. "Easy, son," Sam replied. "At my age, haste can be deadly." Reaching the bottom, Sam flicked the switch. A dim light illuminated the room filled with old things. "Where is the safe?" the bandit asked impatiently. Sam pointed to the far wall, behind that painting. The leader pushed the painting aside, revealing a massive steel door with a combination lock. "Open up," he barked. Sam walked slowly toward the safe, his fingers hovering over the buttons. Suddenly he turned around sharply. "Listen, kid. You don't know what you're getting into. These documents, they're dangerous." The leader grinned. "You're pouring it, Grandpa. Open it, or I'll..." He was interrupted by a crash from above. Rambo entered into a fight with the remaining bandits. Taking advantage of the leader's momentary confusion, Sam hit him on the arm, knocking the gun away. A struggle ensued. "You're strong for an old man," the bandit croaked, trying to gain the upper hand. "You're weak for a young man," Sam retorted, applying a painful hold. The leader fell to his knees, but suddenly his gaze fell on the fallen pistol. He rushed towards the weapon. At that moment, Rambo burst into the basement. "Sam, watch out." Sam jumped to the side, dodging the blow. Rambo lunged at the leader, knocking the gun out of his hands. "It's over," Rambo said, pinning the bandit to the floor. Sam was breathing heavily, leaning against the wall. "Not quite, son. Now we're going to have to explain what's going on here." Rambo nodded. "And what's in this safe, Sam?" The old man sighed. "The truth. The terrible truth about what happened in Sun Valley all those years ago." The truth that many would like to bury forever. He turned to the safe, preparing to open the door to the past and release secrets that could change everything. Sam slowly turned the handle of the safe, and the heavy door creaked open. Inside was a yellowed folder marked Top Secret. "Here it is," Sam whispered, taking out the documents. Rambo, keeping his eyes on the neutralized leader, asked, "What is it, Sam?" The old man took a deep breath. "A story no one was supposed to know. An experiment that was done here in Sun Valley during the war." Suddenly, a siren sounded. Sheriff Thompson arrived on the scene. "Sam! Rambo! Are you okay?" he shouted as he descended into the basement. "Jim, you're just in time," Sam replied. "It's time to reveal the truth." The sheriff frowned. "What are you talking about?" Sam opened the folder. In 1944, the government was conducting secret tests of a new chemical weapon here. Something went wrong, and... He was interrupted by the leader's furious shout, "Shut up, old man. You don't understand what you're getting yourself into." Rambo pressed him harder to the floor. "Now, be quiet." Sam continued, "The leak infected the locals. The symptoms didn't show up right away, but... But what?" the sheriff asked tensely. "Genetic mutations. They're passed down from generation to generation. That's why Sun Valley has such a high rate of rare diseases." A heavy silence hung in the basement. "Oh, my God," the sheriff whispered. "So that's why my son..." Sam nodded. "I'm sorry, Jim. I've kept this secret for too long." Rambo frowned. "So what now?" "Now," Sam said, "we have to tell the truth. People deserve to know." The leader laughed. "Do you think they'll let you? There are forces that..." He was interrupted by the sound of footsteps above. Rambo tensed up. Who could that be? Sam paled. "I'm afraid we've only just begun to uncover the tip of the iceberg. And someone really doesn't want us to dig any deeper." The footsteps above were getting closer. Sam, Rambo, and Sheriff Thompson looked at each other, preparing for the worst. "Jim, cover the entrance," Sam commanded. "Rambo, hold this bastard." Suddenly a familiar voice rang out. "Sam? Are you there?" "Martha," the old man exclaimed in surprise. A neighbor came down to the basement holding a pie in her hands. "Oh my God! What's going on here?" she gasped when she saw the tied-up bandit. Sam breathed a sigh of relief. "Martha, my dear, you're on time as always. I heard a noise and decided to check it out," the woman explained. "Who is that?" She nodded toward Rambo. "Long story," Sam chuckled. "Meet Rambo." Martha's eyes widened. "The one?" Rambo nodded sheepishly. "Ma'am." Sheriff Thompson interrupted them. "Excuse me, but we have a serious situation here." Sam nodded. "Yes, Martha, we need to." Suddenly Rambo tensed up. "Stop. Something's wrong." Everyone froze. Marta blinked, and something changed in her eyes. "Oh, Sam," she sighed, taking a pistol from her apron pocket. "Why did you get involved in this?" "Martha?" Sam exclaimed in shock. You're with them?" The woman smiled sadly. "Sorry, dear. But some secrets must remain buried." Rambo lunged toward her, but she pointed her gun at the leader. "Don't move, handsome, or your friend will get shot." "Why, Martha?" Sam asked, not believing his eyes. "For the greater good, Sam. Sometimes lies protect better than the truth." Sheriff Thompson slowly reached for his weapon. "Don't even think about it, Jim," Martha warned. "Drop the gun." The sheriff reluctantly complied. "And now," continued Martha, "we will all go upstairs in peace. There are people waiting for us there who are very anxious to talk to you." Sam looked at the papers in his hands. "So what now, Martha? Are you just going to hand us over to them?" "I'm sorry, Sam," she said, her voice genuinely sad. "But I don't have a choice." As they started up the stairs, Rambo met Sam's gaze. The old man nodded slightly. The battle wasn't over yet. After leaving the basement, the group found themselves face to face with a squad of armed men in black. "Great job, Martha," the man in the suit complimented. "Agent Johnson, CIA, Sam, long time no see." Sam clenched his fists, "Damn Johnson. I should have known." Rambo tensed, ready for action. Johnson chuckled, "Don't be silly, Rambo. You're surrounded." "What do you want?" Sheriff Thompson asked. "Documents, of course," the agent replied. "And a guarantee of your silence." Sam shook his head, "People need to know the truth." Johnson sighed, "Oh, Sam. Always the idealist." "Martha, take the papers from him." As Martha approached, Sam suddenly threw the documents into the air. At the same moment, Rambo spun around, knocking down the nearest agent. "Now!" Sam shouted. Sheriff Thompson pulled out a hidden pistol and opened fire on the lamps, plunging the room into darkness. "Damn it! Get them!" Johnson shouted. A fierce battle began in the darkness. Rambo moved like a shadow, neutralizing the agents one by one. "Sam, the papers," he shouted. The old man crawled along the floor, collecting the scattered sheets. Martha pointed the gun in his direction. "Sorry, Sam." But she didn't have time to shoot. Sheriff Thompson knocked her down. "This is for my son, he growled. Johnson, seeing that the situation was getting out of control, rushed to the exit. "Let's go. Blow up the house," he ordered over the radio. Rambo, having dealt with the last agent, rushed in pursuit. "Oh no, you won't get away." Sam, collecting the documents, shouted, "Rambo, be careful. Bomb." There was a roar of an engine outside. Johnson was trying to escape in a jeep. Rambo jumped out the window, landing on the roof of a moving car. "Sam, get everyone out," he shouted. "I'll take care of this bastard." The old man nodded, helping the sheriff lead out the bound captives. As they ran to a safe distance, Sam's house exploded, lighting up the night sky with bright flames. "Rambo!" Sam whispered, watching the jeep drive away. The battle for truth was just beginning, and its outcome now depended on one man. Rambo, clinging to the roof of a speeding jeep, tried to reach Johnson. The CIA agent swerved along the mountain road, trying to throw off his pursuer. "Surrender, Johnson!" Rambo shouted over the roar of the wind. "You can't escape." "Ha! You think you're a hero, Rambo?" Johnson snapped. "You have no idea what you're getting yourself into." Suddenly the jeep braked sharply and Rambo rolled head over heels across the hood. Johnson jumped out of the car, pistol drawn. "Game over, soldier," he chuckled. But Rambo rolled like lightning, knocking the gun out of the agent's hands. A furious hand-to-hand fight ensued. "Why, Johnson?" Rambo croaked, ducking under the blow. "Why did you do this to the people of Sun Valley?" Johnson grinned, "For a great purpose. We were creating super soldiers. At the cost of innocent lives? Progress requires sacrifice, Rambo." Meanwhile, Sam and Sheriff Thompson were racing on the trail in a police car. "There!" Sam exclaimed, pointing to the fighting on the edge of the cliff. Johnson, realizing he was losing, rushed to the edge. "Better death than captivity," he shouted. But Rambo managed to grab his hand. "Oh no, you will answer for everything." At that moment Sam and the sheriff drove up. "Rambo! We found more documents!" Sam shouted. "They have the names of everyone involved." Johnson turned pale. "No. It's impossible." The sheriff snapped the handcuffs onto the agent's wrists. "Game over, Johnson." Rambo turned to Sam. "What now?" The old man sighed. "Now we will tell the world the truth. No matter how bitter it may be." Dawn was breaking over the Sun Valley Mountains, marking the beginning of a new era for the small town. "You know, Rambo," Sam said, looking at the rising sun, "sometimes to build a future, you have to deal with the past first." Rambo nodded, and we did it, Sam. Together. The Sun Valley Town Hall was packed, with residents, reporters, and government agents crowded in anticipation of the bombshell revelations. Sam took the stand, Rambo and Sheriff Thompson flanking him. "Friends," the old man began in a trembling voice, "what you are about to hear will change your perception of our city forever." He opened a folder of documents. In the 1940s, secret experiments were conducted here. The goal was to create super soldiers. A shocked whisper ran through the room. "Lies," someone shouted. "It's all a lie." Rambo stepped forward, "We have proof. Names, dates, test results." Sheriff Thompson added, "And eyewitness accounts. My father, among others." Sam continued, "Dozens of our fellow citizens became guinea pigs. Many died." A deathly silence reigned in the hall. "But why don't we remember anything?" asked the elderly woman. "Mass memory wipe," Rambo explained. "The latest development of the time." Suddenly the doors swung open. A gray-haired man in a military uniform entered. "General Hawkins!" Sam exclaimed. "You finally came." The general nodded grimly, "It's time to reveal the whole truth." He turned to the audience, "On behalf of the United States government, I offer my deepest apologies to the people of Sun Valley. What happened here was a heinous crime." "So what now?" someone from the crowd shouted. "Now," the general replied, "a special commission will be created. We will pay compensation to all victims and their families." Sam shook his head, "Money can't bring back the dead, General." "I know," Hawkins sighed. "But this is just the beginning. We'll do everything we can to make it up to Sun Valley." Rambo put his hand on Sam's shoulder, "You've done it, old man. The truth is finally out." Sam smiled sadly, "Yes, son. But at what cost?" Sheriff Thompson addressed the crowd, "Now we have to decide how to live our lives. Sun Valley has always been a strong city. We will get through this." The villagers hummed in approval. Despite the shock and pain, their eyes lit up with determination. A new chapter in Sun Valley's history was just beginning.